Hello, we're Hannah.
I'm Echo.
And I'm Crystal, and this is a news, culture, and current events podcast from the perspective of three YouTubers.
Hey, Crystal. What are you salty about today?
Today, Echo, it's a great question. We're salty about YouTube and competition.
Oh,
Yep.
snap.
Oh. Getting competitive
It's
on
that
YouTube.
awards show salt.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I
think we're just salty because we've never been invited to any of the
never
award shows.
will.
We're never
too.
invited
That's
to
the
anything.
thing.
This isn't new.
Nope. Not invited to
Nope.
VidCon. Actually, Crystal was invited to VidCon.
that doesn't
Well, she had to
count.
apply for it, though.
I love
It
them
counts.
for
I
letting me
count
be on
it.
a panel, but my crap was not paid for. I was not flown out. I was
In
not
my
allowed
mind,
in the
it
fancy
counts.
hotel.
You weren't even
I was
given a
not
yellow-
allowed past
you were not
security. I was not
given-
invited to VidCon.
Yep. You were not
snap.
even given, like, a real, like, invited to VidCon pass.
No.
You were given a speaker pass. You were given a blue industry pass.
Quote unquote.
I thought
Invited,
it was
quote
pretty
unquote.
cool.
That's a whole nother episode.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I love
We should do a whole
VidCon. I love that
VidCon
they're
thing.
trying. But
I
yeah,
know.
I made an entire rant video about this, about how they make it feel even more isolating when they
That's actually a great segue.
when they don't give. Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
at VidCon, there's a really weird hierarchy system of how many subs you got, how cool are you, should I be
Yep.
your friend? And that makes YouTube feel like a competition, which is what we're talking about
Yeah.
today.
Yeah,
That is
the
what we're
hierarchy
talking about.
creates a ladder, and it makes you feel like you have to compete to get to the top.
It's one of the great parts about YouTube in the recent years that wasn't at all happening like way back in the day when it was old school YouTube.
Yep.
Just recently, it's really kicked up a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah, it has.
it seems like it's getting worse too.
It just feels like every time we go to like a YouTube event or even just like a party with friends, it's like a dick measuring
God, every
contest.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
like real subtle though, like
Real
how
subtle.
many subs you got? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then sometimes not at all subtle, like you can't sit
You
with
can't
us.
sit with us. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Literally.
Oh my God,
literally.
that's legitimately,
Literally what happened.
our lives.
We're
That's
not
literally
doing
our
songs,
No
lives.
right?
shade, no tea.
But
What are we
names aren't
talking about?
happening.
That's another thing. If you follow us, you know.
Yeah, we'll have
that.
salt but no shade. Salt
Anyway.
but no shade.
Let's just leave it at there is such a thing as the subscribers cool kids table, and we were not
Yes.
invited. Anyway,
Oh my god, it's every single time. I didn't even realize.
It is,
Okay,
though.
this last year at VidCon was like my first time as like a legitimate YouTuber, like a YouTuber. I'd had like little meetups every year because I was like baby. But this year we had like the first big meetup and I felt like the shit and I was like, this is the coolest. People are stopping me on the floor. It's awesome. And then we went to our first like YouTube dinner with friends, YouTube friends, and we immediately were not able to sit with them. And we couldn't get into the hotel that they were
Oh my
staying at.
gosh.
So there's this idea of just you are worth the amount of subscribers that you have.
Yep.
And it's kind of the worst. And we've been dealing with it a lot very recently.
Yeah.
It just kind of hit me like a wall of bricks.
Yeah, we're right up against that really annoying, like, fan creator barrier, where there's, like, the really big YouTubers, and then there's, like, the fans, and then the middle isn't currently, like, all the gray area
Anything.
isn't really accounted for.
No,
It's like no one cares
it's like
about
you're
it.
just a fan.
Yeah, and so we're getting from that, like light gray to dark gray area where the line has been drawn and we're just kind of being pushed up against it, and we're very aware that it's there.
It's so uncomfortable because
so
like I
uncomfortable.
didn't always feel safe at my meetup because there were so fucking many of you fantastic, beautiful people that were very, very nice to me, but a little scary. And you know, I'd rather there have been security and stuff. That's my dog being a whiny baby. Can you hear that?
a little bit.
He's being
We'll
very
see.
sad.
So, like at VidCon, I feel like that not accounting for the middle class kind of makes YouTube less safe because they're not really giving like the appropriate security to the mid-sized YouTubers who will have a solid chunk of fans there to see them. Should we explain what exactly VidCon is?
Sure.
Yeah, that might be a good
Yeah,
idea.
that might be helpful.
Okay. So, for anyone who doesn't know, VidCon is the largest, it's like a video convention. It's a YouTube convention. And it's the largest one that happens, like, globally. And they've just started branching out in various, to other countries. But the biggest one is usually held in Anaheim, California, every year in June. And it's put on by Hank Green and his company. is there anything else that you can think of? It's like, it's the place to be for YouTubers.
If you're a fan, it's the place to go see your peeps. If you're a creator, it's the place to go to learn crap. And if you're a star, it's the place to go for you to be adored.
To get exposure, to meet brands and get free stuff from Calvin Klein.
And that's a whole other discussion, I think, going into the tiers of
the
that.
hierarchy at VidCon specifically.
Yeah. But in general,
is its own thing.
Even outside of in-person situations, there is this really weird, like, subsect of, like, I don't know, undertones on YouTube between creators of, like, who's better than who and who, I don't know. Yeah. Especially if you're in the same industry.
It's really weird.
Like, the same video type of what you do.
Oh, for sure. It's like you're friends, but also...
Which makes no sense to me at all. Like, it's not like they're gonna run out of subscribers and you're gonna run out of views and you're gonna run out of AdSense. You know what I mean? Like, there's enough subscribers for everyone. I mean, if they like you enough, they're going to buy your merch. You know what I mean? Like, there's really no question about it. There's so many people, like, the law of averages are going to even out and everybody's gonna have, like, enough. But no, not everybody thinks of it that way.
I've been to, like, parties and things, where people will, they'll talk to you, and then sometimes you realize that you can just hear it in the way that they're talking to you, that they know who you are and that they have a certain respect for you. But I've been in those kind of situations where it's like people really respect you, and it almost makes me, like, a little bit sad, because it's like I don't want to be intimidating to people because of sub numbers, but I've also totally been on the other end of that, where it's like I'll be shakily talking to, like, someone that I really respect, and I want to just be their friends and their peers. So it's a really weird social dynamic, because that's not necessarily something that I've ever experienced in any other kind of, like, friendship dynamic.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, it kind of feels like it's the equivalent of someone, like, holding a sign up over your head that says, like, how much money you make and, like, how much influence you have in your company. Like, no other job has that.
No, yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
You know what it's like? It's like that episode of Black Mirror with the stars. I finally watched it.
Yes.
It's just like that.
Oh my god, that's literally what it feels like.
It's exactly like that.
Normal people don't have the stars, but when you
called.
Suddenly put yourself online and people have measurable, like, meters of, like, influence, like how many Twitter followers do you have, how many subscribers do you have?
It's like that's your power.
What's your clout?
That's your value.
And then
it's how much you matter.
Yeah. It's like, I'm trying to impress the 4.8s at this party. I know, like, 4.3.
Oh my god.
But, you know, like,
oh my god.
Yes.
It's too real. Just say subscribers after that. Say millions of subscribers after that, and then it's the real.
That's legit what it is.
And you have, like, some handfuls of cool people that are like, yeah, I'll talk to you because you seem cool, as long as we're not in front of the other really important people and you're going to mess up my influence.
Oh my god. It's too real.
Oh my god, I hate that stuff.
Oh no. We live in a dystopian universe.
It's true, though. It was, that episode shook me just slightly, because I was like, this is happening, like, literally right now. Yeah. Maybe not on such a massive scale for everybody, but it does make a difference, at least
in our
social
industry.
internet.
It's a very real thing, especially because, like, having larger YouTube friends it benefits your career. So it's like your popularity is literally translated into money and success.
Yeah. That's very different than other professions, I feel like. Yeah. For sure.
And it's extremely unhealthy.
We were talking
really
with Tony's family at Christmas, I think, and we started getting into, like, how much everybody, not directly how much everybody makes, but, like, how much your house cost, or, like, something like that. Because he has, like, 4 siblings, and so they talk about that kind of stuff. And then everybody just stopped at one point, and they were like, this is really awkward. And I was like, isn't it?
Isn't it?
This is our fucking life. This is what we deal with all the time.
On display on your front page.
And imagine when you're in an interview, like, I've been in interviews before with people, and they directly ask me how much I make.
Oh my gosh.
Like, straight up. All the time. Because people want to know how much YouTubers make. That's so uncomfortable. That's a whole different discussion. But don't say that to people. It's like, what the fuck, man? Leave me alone.
Especially because it's so
it's
all over the place.
Little.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like surprisingly little, surprisingly a lot, and then sometimes it's like right in the middle. It's all over the place, depending on like your view count and your sub size and or like your channel size and everything, your CPMs. It's so all over the place.
Yeah. Absolutely. All right. Do we actually want to talk about award shows? shows and stuff. We were going to talk about award shows.
Well, this all ties in. I mean, it's all competition, and I guess
it is competition.
The idea of award shows encourages that culture. You know what I mean?
So the Shorty Awards are coming up in the four month. Is that April?
I think.
I believe
March,
so.
April.
We're currently entering the voting and nomination time.
Yes, we are.
All
so
the nominees
been,
have been released.
Yeah, a ton of people are nominated, and I went through the whole list, and I kept feeling like I'm super old that I don't know people. But it's just that YouTube is so big, I think.
Yeah, it's just really, really big.
Like, I watch a lot of YouTube. It's pretty much all I do. And I don't know half those people, at least. There's just so many people on. It's not even just YouTube. It's like all of social media.
Yeah.
So
like
there's a lot
Instagram
of
famous
different
people
categories.
and Snapchat famous people. That one was very
it's
interesting.
all over the place.
Snapchat famous people? Yeah, that is interesting.
Yeah, there's a Snapchat category. Didn't even know that was a culture.
I didn't know people could get famous on Snapchat. I didn't know that was a thing.
Know. Like, I guess I've heard about it, but I never understood how it worked, because it's...
How do you measure that?
I don't
Because, like, the only way that you would be able to find out about them is word of mouth, right? Because Snapchat doesn't exactly they don't have any kind of, like, browsing feature the way that, like, YouTube and Instagram does.
I didn't think they did.
They've got, like, all the random news sections, but I had no idea that they actually had stuff where people could get Snapchat famous.
It would have to be somebody who's already famous, don't you think?
Yeah.
That, like, also has a Snapchat, and they're like, follow me on Snapchat, like, all the time.
Speaking of which, I was thinking about that from our last podcast. I think you're right about, like, the future of YouTube, because I remember a couple years ago everyone being like, oh, the only way that you can get to the top or be famous on YouTube is if you started in, like, 2006 and 2007, whatever, if you were here from the beginning. That was, like, Hank Green made a joke about that. He's like, that's my advice to people is, like, start 10 years ago. Like, start 5 years ago. And it's so true. But now... it's to the point where you already have to have a following. You already have to be famous, and that's how you get famous on YouTube. Mm-hmm. The famous people are just migrating. They're taking over our space.
Which I hate.
Yeah, me too.
Yep.
If you go to the trending page on any given day, there's always, like, a mainstream famous person, and I'm like, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
This isn't where you belong.
It's like,
you belong on TV. I don't want you here.
I love that Will Smith and, like, Butch Hartman are coming over and, like, being on YouTube. Will Smith is great.
He's so good.
Yeah.
But it's like, when they don't have... It makes me sad when they come over but don't have a respect for what we do, which I feel like I haven't really come across too much. But just famous people who come over and... Like, I like it when a person who's, like, a really big famous person will come and approach a YouTuber who has, like, a couple hundreds of thousands of subscribers, whatever, and be like, hey, can we collab? Because you seem like you're really good at this and I have no idea what I'm doing. Like,
oh, hell yeah.
That feels great when they can acknowledge that, like, this is a skill set and stuff.
Yeah, get on our level, famous people. Eat a fucking Tide Pod.
Eat a Tide Pod, that's great.
Yeah, goddamn celebrities. What do you think you're doing?
What do you think you're doing? Get out.
Yeah, but I feel like that just makes the competition feel even worse. Like, it's going from, like, high school sports to Olympic level, and it just feels like the top is unreachable now. Like, I feel
it is like that. Mm-hmm. It's like a famous Olympian runner comes in and tries to compete in your track race. You're like, excuse me, sir? Please don't do this.
It's true.
Yeah, exactly.
It brings an expectation to a viewer. Like, these people who are famous or celebrities or have resources or whatever, they come in with their, red $50,000 cameras and their teams and this and that, and they make it look effortless, but they have the means to pay for that. Then the viewers get this, like, expectation of... like, this is just what content is now. This is just what it is. So when they go to a regular YouTuber's page, they're like, this is not as good. You're not as good of a YouTuber. This is shitty. And I think that's what's kind of happening is, like, the bigger and bigger people have better and better production and better teams and better blah, blah, blah. Like, even... Like, and I hate to always point him out, but Casey Neistat is such a good quality creator, and he does that shit, like, maybe with an intern. Like, so, like, the expectation is set higher and higher, and so, as a smaller creator, you're constantly feel pressured to be better, to be best, to be as good as the other person, and then that brings to comparison, and that ruins your fun.
Yeah.
Well, see, it was always the thing that was special about YouTube. I mean, I keep going back to this, but it was supposed to be shitty. This is the place for the shitty.
It's true, though.
I want my playing field to be shitty.
Yes.
So I can be on the playing field.
Okay, I was looking up mannequin dance things on YouTube, and it reminds me so much of old YouTube. The mannequin head dance, have you seen them? They're like, there's like a whole subgroup of, like, people who just do these, and it's so great, and it reminds me so much of, like, old YouTube.
It. Oh my god,
it makes me so happy because it's just a bunch of like teenagers goofing off and dancing in the street with like mannequin heads in their sweaters and like dancing to like rap music and like really stupid Christmas songs, and it's great. It's so old amazing. YouTube because it's beautiful. It's that beautiful old like anyone can do this shitty quality content that you could now film on your phone, and it makes me so happy.
Original, and like funny and fun, and
it's inventive.
It doesn't hurt anybody, and it doesn't need any words. It goes past words. You know, it crosses barriers between cultures and race.
Yes, it's shareable.
The
and
mannequin head dance. Everybody should
please Google it. If you don't know what we're talking about, just Google mannequin head dance on YouTube. Just search for it. Any of the top videos. They're like 45 seconds, and they still have millions of videos, which nowadays is really impossible to get with extremely short videos. Because the algorithm favors really long videos.
Well, see, now the goal is to like make a bunch of money so you can be like the famous people that are now here. And with short videos, you'll never make money. You can't make money with short videos. You can't be on that playing field.
You have to have already had an audience.
Good content
somewhere else
is gone. They are discouraging good content. Okay, listen. Award shows.
Yes. Okay, let's go back to the main thing with award shows.
But it's relevant.
YouTube.
I mean, it's media. Like when you bring award shows, I think what was it? Like the first year of the Streamies was on VH1. Like that's a super mainstream media. Like we as a culture are trying to like integrate this weird new quirky thing called the internet and turn it into something that the old white men in suits can understand to sell to people.
Yeah. I don't want them to understand it. You don't get me, Dad. You never will.
Exactly. And so that's why you see this really weird like hybrid of like cultures just mishmeshing and generations mishmeshing on something like an award show. They're trying to appeal to the viewers of the people who are used to internet content and trying to get it on mainstream media, and it just don't work.
I don't like it.
This entire video that I've been planning for forever that I really want to make, talking about how the internet is its own culture, like that it's essentially kind of like a country that has its own culture and its own cultural iconography, and like we have our own language and we have like weird things. And so when you see like the news reporting on like internet trends, it feels gross because it's a form of cultural appropriation.
Yeah, I can see that.
Like when Hillary Clinton dabs, she's literally stealing our culture and like appropriating it to try and appeal to us.
That's like that's really it's crazy, but it's
really
true.
Funny way of putting
That's
it.
Great.
Yeah, it's the appropriation of like millennial internet culture.
Wow.
Oh my god.
That's great.
Because like the internet was it's exactly right, because we get so much shit from for being millennials. We get so much garbage for just being young people.
It's true.
So we created our own space. We took all of that shit and we like built our own community, and we ended up producing these beautiful gems, these really hilarious, wonderful things, this like great iconography. And then the people on the outside who pushed us into this box see these gems and they're like, ooh, I like that shiny thing. So they pluck it out and try and act like, oh, it's mine now. This is great. I made this, and that's cultural appropriation.
Yeah, that makes
and
sense.
it's freaking irritating.
Yeah,
I use
if you're
that
gonna
example
call us
sometimes.
lazy, you can't dab.
I know.
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty
Like,
much.
what
No
the
dabbing
hell?
if you call us lazy.
If you're gonna complain about what is it called? Like participation trophies, then you can't use our memes. You're not allowed.
Yeah, if you're gonna call us like sensitive snowflakes, then don't touch my fucking doggo.
My
Doge.
Yeah, that's what makes
no sense. You can't say heck.
You can't.
With
No.
an asterisk. You're not allowed.
Oh, hick. I love that. That's so good.
That's part of what makes award shows and competition on YouTube so weird. It's because you have all these outside sources trying to influence a thing, and it just becomes this weird clusterfuck of competition and ego and money, and
it is so ego. I actually asked Tony what he thought of award shows just to like get a neutral opinion, because Tony's really like a neutral dude. He's usually like, there's pluses and there's minuses, and he's good like that. But he immediately said, he was like, well, it's just like a bunch of famous people jerking each other off, right? I was like, Tony!
Yes, Tony. Snaps for Tony.
It's like, well, I mean, to be fair, like they're taking like this beautiful internet thing and literally declaring a winner.
True.
Oh my god. So that leads us into the fantastic sections of awards that the shorties have, which I looked into specifically. Most cringeworthy are emoji section,
I saw that one.
meme section,
God.
and a GIF section. They have winners of emojis, memes, and GIFs, which is embarrassing.
A little weird.
Doesn't it feel like it feels like cultural appropriation? Like, it's
That
what
is-
makes that weird cringy feeling where you're like, ooh, this feels uncomfortable.
Oh, stop.
It's
Stop.
it's like it doesn't work in
'Cause
your
you know
context.
it's a
It
bunch
only
of
works.
like old ass people. It's
Yep.
old
Dude,
ass
if
people
anybody
who are
from
like,
the
this is
shorties
what
ever
the
listens to
kids
this
like.
podcast, we're never invited. I hope you're
We're already not.
We're
It's
never
already
gonna
never
get
gonna
invited.
No, we're
happen.
not.
Like, given how many people are like, how many bigger YouTubers would be standing between us and them, like,
I'm
it's
just
not gonna
saying,
happen.
somebody's
Never
gonna run
happen.
across this podcast and be like, no, fuck those bitches. They're not ever coming to my award show.
We called our podcast Release Assault. I think we backed ourselves into a corner.
This is true.
Yeah.
This is true.
Okay,
And
to
I'm
be
happy
fair,
with our corner.
last year, the emoji of the year was the middle finger, and I just
What?
couldn't help but think like, ooh, that's
saw
beautiful, because it means that
I
all
was
the
like,
people
hell yeah.
who read that were just like, this is the
fuck
dumbest
off.
category ever. Fuck the
Yeah.
category. Not even like that's the most used emoji. It was just like, fuck this category. That's literally what it was. Did you see that they had a person walk out in a giant foam middle finger?
What?
Like
Yep.
at the actual award show? I saw
They
a
had a
clip of
poop
it.
too.
It's weird.
Did they? Oh my god.
Yeah.
Did not see that.
It's embarrassing.
It
but
is.
okay, now that we've said how embarrassing it is, I looked into it more and more, and I actually kind of love some of the things that they do. I don't usually watch it all the way through. I usually just watch my favorite parts and like my favorite people, because
Yeah.
you know that's
Yeah.
what you do with award shows, right? That's how
Yeah.
everybody watches it. But they have a category for meme parody accounts, which I just love meme parody accounts. I don't know why. It's like my fucking favorite thing in the whole world. I know all of these, I think, but my very favorite one is the Kim Kardashian. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I don't know this.
I don't.
Okay, listen. There is a Twitter account. I'm gonna try and pronounce it one more time. Kim Kardashian. I can't say words anyways, so this is really hard for me. It's a meme parody account taking half of Kim Kardashian's tweets and merging them with an existential, like, German philosopher
That's
called
great.
Soren. I think his name is Soren something. It is the fucking funniest shit I've ever seen in my life. I followed
Is that
that
the
for
category
years.
that
I
has
love
not
it.
a wolf? Is not a wolf on there?
No, that's not the same. I think I saw that though.
There's another one where they've nominated like not a wolf for an award, which is another
See,
account.
some of these are actually kind of fucking amazing though.
Okay, honestly, I feel like the Shorty Awards, if nothing else, they're good for like being staying connected, because I can go through. They've literally given me a list of some of the most popular things that have happened in the last year. So if there's anything I don't know, I can look it up now.
True.
Like
It's true.
I've been given an itemized list, which is great.
I already found some fantastic people in the LGBTQ plus. I looked through all those
I
people.
was really
Miles
happy.
McKenna was already one of my faves.
I was really happy with the fact that I knew the majority of those names. That one was one
Yeah,
thing where I
I
was
knew
like,
a couple of
that
them.
makes me really happy.
Amy Ordman though, I don't think I'd ever seen her before. Fucking cute, adorable, amazing. Gonna watch her more for sure. You guys should look through the LGBTQ plus sections. Also, just before we pass up this little moment here, I wanted to get your opinion on like. I love that they're having a specific LGBTQ plus section. I wanted to get your opinion on like when schools have like scholarships for like specifically women in engineering or like African Americans in blank, like specific scholarships and stuff, pointing out a minority and like giving them something special. Women aren't even minorities, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. I
Do you like
it.
that?
It's okay. Well, I like it. It doesn't solve the problem. Here's my thing. I like it, and I like that it's affirmative action. It's because like these people are oppressed by like social conditioning. People are trained to like oppress them just because that's how our society trains us all to behave.
Yeah.
So
True.
It combats that, but it's one of those things where it's like it's curing symptoms, it's not curing the disease. So I think you have to, in the same way that you would, like if you're sick, you want to take care of the symptoms because they suck. But doesn't necessarily solve the root of the problem, which is like being culturally trained to be sexist or racist or like it's like a weird like tribal impulse to like cast out minorities. So like personally, that's just my stance on it, and I feel like I have to like preface this or offer a disclaimer that my mind is always like changing and stuff, so I'm open. Like if I'm wrong, if like what I'm thinking is incorrect, maybe it is like solving the problem, maybe it is more than just treating the symptoms, feel free to correct me, because I actually do like listen to like just don't be rude about it. That's the only thing. But
I think that's an underlying disclaimer with everything we say.
Much.
Like, we're very open
we all
people,
acknowledge that we could be wrong.
We are not we're not going to be right about everything. Duh.
Very true. There's going to be things on here we're completely wrong about.
Oh, yeah. And we'd love to be corrected in a nice way. And I love learning. Like, I would love to learn something new. That's why I actually asked this, because I am a woman.
I am a woman. Me too.
Me too.
I am a woman in engineering. I'm in computer science. And I fucking hate the women in engineering associations and scholarships and stuff.
Really?
Because they are like, they basically spam us every year and try and get us to join all these clubs and all these associations, because women in computer science is like, it's really, really low. It's like, I don't know, in my classes at least, there's like 2 or 3 girls most of the times out of like 50 people. It's pretty fucking bad. Sorry, this is a total tangent. I'm really interested in this kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because I hate it so much for me specifically. And I don't know, there's no problem with, I guess the issue I have is I don't want to be on a playing field that's different than everybody else.
Yeah.
But I guess it's because there's already a problem, but I would rather just include us all, just have a scholarship for everybody and put me in the same pool as everybody else, because I don't want the women's scholarship. I want the engineering scholarship.
See, that's totally understandable, because essentially that's just wanting like the overall equality. It's the thing where it's like treating the symptoms, and you don't want the symptoms treated. You just want to have the disease gone. You just want the problem to be gone, for like women to not feel like they can't even apply in the first place.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's true.
Yeah, well, I don't know how accurate this is, but on my perusings of the internets, I've run across a handful of posts that have like detailed like parts of our young lady life, like from toddler all the way up to high school, where you're subconsciously discouraged from pursuing different things. And that has a heavy effect on what you pursue in college. It just does.
It's absolutely true. As opposed to having a women's scholarship, I would absolutely rather them go out to middle schools and do like programs for just teaching kids in general, but specifically girls, to be like engineering. This is totally off topic,
well,
but
let's tie it in.
I think it's very interesting.
How can we tie it in?
They have an LGBTQ category. That's the tie-in.
That's category. Literal, like that's just competition in real life.
Yeah.
That's
like
that's
it
messed
totally
up.
Making specialty categories, then that's the good tie-in is on some plane, like, brings your attention to really cool things, and on another plane, it makes it weirdly competitive in a way where it doesn't have to be, and that's equally present on the internet.
They shouldn't be pointed out as LGBTQ, I guess. They should be pointed out as fantastic YouTubers, because they all are. True. That's what it is. That's what my issue is, I think.
See, I feel like that category specifically I'm really happy with, though, because the LGBT community on YouTube is so big. It's so prominent.
It's true. It's true.
I feel like that one makes sense for YouTube. Also because YouTube, like, demonetizing them and stuff, that makes me really so angry.
They've been doing that a lot.
Yep.
But you know what? Logan Paul's body is perfectly family friendly. Didn't you guys know?
Well, don't you know, Hannah? He made a really well-produced apology video, so...
Yeah.
I mean, it's all in the past now.
I gotta let it go.
Exactly.
Man. I gotta let it go.
I'm never gonna let it go.
For those of you who can't hear sarcasm, that was a lot of sarcasm. Just disclaimer, okay?
We're still very salty about Logan Paul and his very scripted apology. I am.
I mean, that also breeds into
the
the competition thing, though, because, as, middle ground people and everybody underneath us, that's not a good way to put it, but smaller creators as well.
Yeah.
YouTubers.
Look up to like the expectation of what is celebrated at award shows, what is celebrated at VidCon, what is celebrated on YouTube. And when that's the top tier, you're suddenly just like, oh, well, screw me and my content, I guess. Trying so hard to be family friendly.
Oh, did you guys watch Jax Films' video about... Because he's nominated for a shorty.
Yes.
He's awesome.
Yes.
I love Jax Films.
Jax Films is great.
He was nominated for a shorty, and he's going up against, like, Lele Pons and Logan Paul.
I saw that.
And
I hope he wins, dude.
he was... I would love it so much. But he pointed out, like, he made a video about it, and he was like, you guys should please vote for me, because if you do, I swear, I will bring a fursuit and wear it on stage.
hope so.
Say nothing about it. Just give a good speech, and then wear a
That'll be the
fursuit.
best.
And I'm like, oh my god, please,
She's
I want this so
amazing.
much. Because he's hilarious. He's doing
He's
so
so
well.
funny.
But he was talking about how he got, like, an email or a message from the people there, and they were saying that they're not just leaving it up to voting. Voting is a big part of it, but it's not the only thing. So there's also, like, an academy of people who are...
Yeah.
I don't want to say an academy, but there's a group of people who are also, like... determining like the creator's quality and influence, which is good because otherwise it would just be whoever has the most obsessive fandom.
Just be Jake Paul. Just be fucking Jake Paul.
Yep.
Also, speaking of Jake Paul, can
Not
we talk
interested.
about John Cosart's beautiful songs at the Streamies last year?
Oh, was that last year?
Jake
love
Paul,
it.
kind of
he's YouTube's Trump. That
scared
song.
me. Yeah.
Oh my
Dude,
God.
his stuff was so that was like I can't handle that level of
I
salt.
know.
That was the
Oh
most
my God.
salt thing I
He's
have ever seen in
the
my
salty
life.
senior that we all need in our
He
lives.
is the salt bae.
Salty senior.
Salty senior bae.
Salty
He's-
senior
we
bae,
are
John
making a
Cosart.
pillar
Salty
of
senior
salt
bae,
to
come on our
worship John
podcast
Cosart.
and be salty with us, please.
Please be the king of salt.
King.
Yo, John Cosart's gonna start getting tweets saying salty senior bae, and he's gonna be like, I'm sorry, it's just the prospect of
God,
that makes
Please,
me
I
laugh.
would love it if we could get him on the podcast just to be like the Salt
He's
King.
so good.
That would
King.
be great.
Oh my God.
Oh, no, not for nothing. His songs gave me life last year. I was
Yeah.
so over the
Yeah.
whole Streamies nonsense, and I was just like, bless you, you angel of salt.
He's always been
It
like
was
on
like-
point with that kind of
my
stuff.
favorite thing that he did was when he pulled up. He was like, "Oh, did you hear about this one crazy tragedy or something that happened? Here's the tweets that all the people were tweeting on that day." And it was like
Yeah.
literally like Jenna Marbles saying like, "I'm so sorry this happened. Like this is such a tragedy. It's awful." And then another person who was like, "This is like I hope that everything gets better and like hope and stuff." And then Logan Paul, "Buy my merch," and it was
Yikes.
like, how disconnected is that? Like, and that makes me. Like, ooh, it makes me so happy to see him point that out because, like, there are YouTubers who are in legitimate contracts that say that they're not allowed to talk about any kind of controversial opinion without discussing it with their PR
Yeah,
team
I've heard
first.
that.
Oh,
which is
shoot.
why,
I
if
didn't
you
even know
actually
that.
read through,
Yeah.
I didn't know this either. This is one of those weird secret YouTube things. They have PR
Yeah.
teams where big YouTubers they'll run their tweets through their like business to make sure that it's like filtered properly. Which is why
Oh my God.
if you read through a YouTuber's like Twitter feed and it doesn't say anything controversial about like when controversial things happen or any kind of like message of hope whenever there's tragedy, it's because their PR team is stopping them.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Or if it takes them a long time to post about a tragedy, it's because they had to get their tweet approved through their PR team. Or
Oh
through
my
their
God.
PR people,
Wait,
their managers.
Who's doing that for Donald Trump though?
No
Someone should
one.
be doing that
No
for him,
one.
wouldn't you think?
He
Are you
needs
kidding?
8 of them.
He needs
Lord.
more than 8.
Man, I wish somebody was doing that for our president.
That's
Yikes.
another podcast.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hey, look, it was a controversial opinion. We don't have a PR team.
Yeah, see? Because we're freaking real.
We don't have PR teams.
Oh,
Goodness.
yeah, we're gonna burn ourselves a couple bridges.
Yep. That's fine.
But at those, going back to the award shows and stuff, and the encouraged competition and the stroking each other's egos and blah 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 blah. It is essentially just. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't magically make you more popular or give you more money. It just is like here, good job. And in some cases, like with Jax Films, so unexpected. I hope he wins. Like that's
I know.
amazing. And
Yeah.
other
It's
ones,
literally,
it's just like
YouTuber of the year.
yeah, I really hope so, because that's, again, so unexpected, and I'm sure he's like, what? And in that aspect, that's
I
great.
know.
But at the same time, a lot of it is the same old, and it's just like, oh, look how great I am, look how cool I am. which is like, hey, calm down.
I feel like it also it ends up feeding into the same system that's like engulfs politics and social situations, where the more willing you are to sell out your soul, to sell out being a decent human being, the more likely you are to get ahead. So if you're willing to like not have any kind of controversial opinion or say like that tragedies are impacting you as a human being, then you can get ahead because you're not taking a side.
Yeah.
You're not like holding on to any kind of like opinion or like humanity. And it's so sad.
It is.
Or if you're like willing to turn your personality into a complete business. And I don't know.
It
I
is
just
that
feel
episode of Black Mirror. Like, that's
yes.
all it is.
God.
Oh my god, it is.
Like, there's
Yeah.
the inability to even comment on videos of smaller creators or like talk to smaller creators without being like, oh, I'm doing you a favor. Like, the moment I get wind that is the status of our relationship, myself and big YouTubers, which unfortunately has happened more than once or twice or 3 times, I very quickly turn it off. And, you know, maybe if I like played the game and like did that shit and, you know, like try to be fake frenzies and try to like flirt even though it's inappropriate and do all this stuff, I probably would have so much more subscribers. But it's a value statement of like, what's more important to me, my self, my humanity, my like friendships, or my dignity, or like how many subs you got, how much money are you making from the internet, how cool does the internet think you are? Like, fuck all that. And if that's the case, then I mean, future big YouTubers, we're not gonna be cool if that's what you're about. Like, I'll be nice and friendly and happy, but we're not gonna be close.
Yeah. I even have like a hard time just anytime a big YouTuber is like, oh yeah, we could be friends, I have such a hard time just being like a normal, nice person to them because I don't want them to think that I'm being nice to them just because they have a lot of subscribers.
That's true.
It's such a weird relationship.
It's a weird balance.
It's a really weird game.
Like,
That's what I hate. It's a game.
I'm like,
yeah.
I know. I just want to be nice.
It's a fucking game. Oh, don't be too excited to meet them or they're going to view you as a fan who's lesser than them. Oh, don't be too nonchalant like you don't know who they are because then their little egos are going to get hurt and blah, blah, blah. Y'all, I could go. I'm very salty about this.
Okay, I have realized. At least I feel like the actual solution to this is to have no respect for them. To have no respect for big YouTubers and just be like, hey, how are you? If you want to collab, that's cool. If we actually do, that would be okay. And have no expectation to actually collab.
That's true.
Like,
oh my God.
like,
That's my
I'm
thing.
naturally
Like,
such
you can't
a happy, nice person. You know what I mean? I'm such a happy, nice person in general, and I get excited about life, and I'm like, that comes across a certain way to people, and it's just like, and I also read people very well. I can immediately tell the difference between like, oh, you are a cool person to meet, versus like, oh, you think I'm cool. And it's like, get out of your own ass.
Yes, you kill your inner fangirl. Your inner fangirl must die, and then you can like be part of YouTube.
I can't.
It's true.
It's all of me. I'm such a fangirl. Every time I've met anybody, I'm like, like I'm shaking, and then I point out that I'm shaking, and then I'm like, oh my God, that's so embarrassing. I just die. I die a little bit, and I can't stop myself. And then I'm like, I know. And then I'm like, oh my God, they think I'm just doing this to like get on their good side.
I think I've fully killed my inner fangirl. But it's like, so you can only be part of YouTube and be part of the like cool kids if you don't want to, which really sucks. So that's how it works.
No, you know what it is? It's like the episode of Black Mirror. I keep bringing it back, but she was too desperate. And like they could smell it on her. Like, you want this too bad, and it's sad. Like, you have to not care.
Yeah.
And the moment, like, I don't know, because I've had so many negative interactions with big YouTubers, and not that I don't care, I still love the crap out of people innately. I hope the best for everybody, and I want to be friends with them. But I'm not like, oh my gosh, this is the coolest thing. It's my dreams come true. It's more just like, okay, great, this is a person. Awesome. They're hopefully not an asshole.
Yeah.
Like, and that attitude has changed everything.
You have to see them as people.
But I just,
it's so weird.
I want to be optimistic still, and I've never asked a big YouTuber to collab with me. Not once. Not ever.
Yeah.
Because I feel so weird about it. And I obviously could have, like, Jaden and James, the Odd Ones Out and Jaden Animations. Sorry, dropping names
Dropping
suddenly.
names.
They're sweet.
They're super great
If
people.
we drop names, it's
They're
because
the
we
good
actually
ones.
like them. Unless it's Logan Paul. But usually if we drop names, it's because we actually like the people we're talking about.
Yes, it's true. They are very, very sweet,
Yes.
and they would collab with anybody. They are super open to collabing with people. I've seen them collab with people who have like no subscribers at all, and it's just because they are nice people, and I think that's great. That we need more of that.
agree.
But I refuse to ask because I'm so fucking like I don't want help, and I don't want them to think I want help. But I
Yeah.
want to be friends with them so badly it hurts. But I won't talk to them at all, even though like we've talked before. I will never reach out because I'm like, like
I know.
I'm
Like,
too
I
thirsty.
really know the
I want it
feeling.
too much.
That's also why I feel like it's really important to talk to people like who aren't as high up on the ladder. Like it's really, really important to
Oh, it's so much
talk
easier
to,
to talk to people at your level.
Yeah. It's so much easier too. Like it's so much easier to approach smaller YouTubers and just be like, "Hey, how are you? Like, can we please be friends?" Because
I love it so much.
yeah, they're not. They know that you're not approaching them for subscribers and stuff. Whereas
Yes.
the other way around, it feels really
And it's
intimidating.
not awkward and awful. I love small YouTubers now. They're like the only people that I can talk to.
They're not like
Dude, small
inflated
YouTube
with their
crowd.
ego.
And never
Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah.
I almost feel like talking about small YouTubers now is anywhere like under 500,000. That's like mid small. Like it's just like middle tier. It's like lower middle class.
Like I haven't talked to Dodie since she was like half. I think she was half mil when I started talking to her. And then as soon as she passed million, I don't think we've ever talked again. Because it's just such a it's like a wall. It's like, okay, now we're done. Now you're out of my
league of friendship.
We used to be wives.
You're still wives, Hannah. Dodie,
We're
if you're listening, tell your girl
divorced.
she's still your wife.
No.
You're just separated now.
Yeah. I still love her.
Hannah's singing all by
She's
myself
so great. And
in the corner.
Great.
Oh my god. It's really sad. It's a sad day, guys.
Dodie
Dodie's
loves
another one who's really great. Like she deserves
She won.
all of her fame. She's
oh my
great.
god, she so does. No shade on Dodie.
No,
She's
not at
fucking
all.
amazing. She
Yeah.
won the Shorty Award for YouTube Musician, I believe, is the category.
That's
last year.
cute. I like that.
She deserves
Good.
it.
Yeah, she came up so fast, and I'm so proud of her. She's so good. She deserves everything. I know.
I know, it's small
Also,
tier.
I feel like she's having a very strong effect on like destigmatizing mental health issues, which is
for
great.
Sure. Yes,
That was another reason that
she's doing such a good job.
I hate Logan Paul so much. This always goes back to it because like with the stupid dead body thing, as a person who like takes antidepressants and deal with depression, it's so disconnected, everything that he's doing, and I hate it. I hate it so much.
Well, there's a lot of suicide in my family. I don't want to like get into like everybody was affected by that in different ways, but I feel like the people who have had a lot of suicide in their family, it hit really hard because, and that's why we're so bitter because it's so intense and awful. I guess we've already talked about this for a million hours. Ooh, we're still angry though. This is called Release the Salt, and I still have a little bit of salt in me. So
Yeah, a little bit left from the Logan Paul episode.
couple boxes, crates.
Barrels.
And it does again. It does connect back to the
Barrels of
competition in a certain sense. So it's not irrelevant.
Because that's a solid like counting for competition. There was do you know Carrie Hope Fletcher, I think that's her name. She's really
I know
cool
the
too.
name.
I like her videos and stuff. There was a point where she's a British YouTuber. She's actually I think she's on
sings.
Broadway. Yeah, she does
Yes.
acting. She's in what was the last one she did?
She was
The
in
Addams
Les
Family.
Mis.
She was in Les Mis, and then she did
The Addams Family, I think.
Anyway, she was talking about on Twitter how it made her kind of sad because she did Vlogmas for charity, I want to say. She did like a Vlogmas thing, like a video every day. She lost 1,000 subscribers, and she was saying on Twitter that it makes her kind of sad that like Logan Paul can make a video every day or like show a video of a dead body and like get tons and tons of like subscribers, whereas if she does it then she loses 1,000 people.
Yeah.
And it's
It'll
like I know that
happen.
feeling.
It's hard to
Yeah,
look like
for
at
sure it'll
others.
happen.
You know what I mean? Like when you're smaller, particularly, and you want so badly to get their quote unquote whatever there means for you as a creator. It's different for everybody. After a certain point, you like look up to the other people and see what they're doing. because they're doing the successful thing and their thing. I mean, I've been there. That's how I know. Like, they're doing this, they're doing that. This is their job already. And you start trying to maybe like incorporate what works. You know, reevaluating yourself. Don't be so, you know, up your own ass that you're not like, you know, my content's perfect. So you try to adjust, and maybe I should upload more often. Maybe I should do this thing and experiment, and then you get, you know, punished for it. You know, you lose subscribers.
Down.
Then you look at the other people and you're like, how am I supposed to even be there then? You know what I mean? Like, it makes you feel like crap, and it's the worst. And then as a small YouTuber, you can't help but think of things as a competition, and that's just
they say like be yourself and stuff, and that doesn't.
Don't be yourself, kids.
Like, don't be yourself.
Don't be yourself. Be like. Because okay, here's the thing: when people say "be yourself," they don't actually mean "be yourself." They mean like be level, be like relaxed. So it's like be. They don't mean be you. They mean like be. I can't
someone
even describe
better.
it. It's like
don't be you.
I once heard.
be calm. Don't.
Yourself on the internet is yourself on a good day with caffeine. That's you on the internet.
I'm always with caffeine though.
Like, and that's what they mean by be yourself. Be yourself. Laugh at your own jokes. Keep your sense of humor. Keep your style. Keep your vibe. Keep your whatever the heck's going on for you on a good day with a lot of caffeine and energy. That's what you need to feel when they say be yourself. And it's accurate. I mean, it helps.
See, in the case of my channel, I think people don't think it's caffeine. They think it's a lot of drugs. I've gotten that comment so many times. I should like blacklist the word drugs. I'm not on any drugs. I've never done drugs in my goddamn life. Everybody thinks I'm on drugs. I'm like, listen, dude, I'm just a pumped person. I'm just happy to be here.
For anyone who needs to like on the some advice on the inside, Hannah just literally has the most energy of like any person that I've ever met.
Yeah,
she's just
hey, thanks
so
guys.
much energy.
Yeah, you are just very like sporadic and all over the place.
Oh hell yeah. Oh hell yeah.
Yeah,
that's me.
You're
That's
just
me
always
most of the time.
Yeah.
So as soon as the camera turns on, it's hard for me to like contain myself. But you should see the stuff I cut out though. Then people would really think I'm on drugs. If I release any bloopers, they'd be like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, see, I drink caffeine consistently, like every hour of every day. And even then in my videos, it's always like energy, and then no, I'm cool. And then energy, and then no, I'm cool. So it just goes back and forth between like high energy, and then that was stupid. And then higher energy, and then that was stupid. So it's like this constant up and down. So people who like, if they're very like high energy, they like that. But then the people who like are like energy is stupid, then it's like that low sarcasm amount. So it's, I don't know.
I love low sarcasm.
Yes, it's great.
Oh, hell yeah.
I'm a fan. Normally, I
don't
try
know,
to like
dude.
purposely make mistakes when I'm filming, just so I'm a little bit more organic. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
Yeah, that makes
I'm
sense.
goofing off on purpose, and there's always a fuck ton of bloopers. And David, my husband, who helps me with everything, gets really mad because he's like, I'm the one who has to edit this shit. Like, please stop being an idiot. I'm like, what?
Oh my
If
God.
I'm not having fun, then it reads. You know what I mean? It reads on friggin' film.
Yeah.
I do that with Tony all the time. Tony's never edited a goddamn thing in his whole life. Every time he starts talking, I love the kid. I love him so much. He talks the slowest in the whole world. He's the slowest talker. He tries to tell a story and it takes him 10 minutes. And I'm like, if you don't stop talking and telling your story, like, I'm just gonna turn off the camera and wait for you to be done. I hate editing that stuff out. Oh my God. If you've never edited something, you don't understand.
Okay, so like before we take off, just on a quick note, I think we should talk about competition within our own friend group, because that is a thing that I feel like subconsciously I'm always aware of.
Yep.
Us?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God. No.
Like,
Okay,
Yeah,
we're not.
just
We're all
as
super
a-
cool and chill about it. I see what Echo's saying. Is like we're all like not thinking
Yeah.
about that. That's not the basis of our friendship. But there is a subconscious like ness there.
Oh, numbers. Yeah, like you
Oh,
can
wait,
literally,
wait,
it's like
wait.
you can
Are you
literally
talking
see.
Are you talking about how, like, we all hate Echo because she's so good at art and drawing? Is that what you're talking about?
Thank you.
Because, yeah, I understand totally.
I'm so glad that you hate me for my art. See, I'm envious of, like, Hannah's super obsessive fan base because, like, and it's mainly because your fan base is younger, but, like, you've got like infinitely more Twitter followers and like your fan base does like really crazy memes and stuff about you. And it's like, I see that and I'm like, oh, this makes me so sad that my audience is so mature. It's like, I want crazy immature fangirls.
Yeah, my audience is the fucking best. They are, I don't know what happened. They're the fucking fantastic people. I didn't make that happen. They did that.
Your audience is amazing.
Yeah.
And so it's just like,
the light
it's
of my
just
life.
the constant awareness, or like I feel like Hannah and my channels grow at roughly the same rate. And so there's just like this perpetual awareness of that, of like, at some point, like, you're probably going to pass me. And it's just like, I don't mean to think about it that way, that like we're in a race or something. But, like, my brain is just like, oh, look at the numbers. The numbers are so close. Look, this number is behind this number. That must mean something. And I'm like, no, it doesn't. Shut up.
Yeah, I feel you.
And
for myself, it's less
so
like,
irritating.
it's less subscriber based, which I guess at one point it was. I was always like slightly salty that I was growing so slowly, but it's been so long now. I'm like, fuck it. I'm going to grow the way I grow. It's more so I'm upset about, not upset, but like constantly when it's like, I don't make enough money from this to do anything besides pay for my TubeBuddy and my Adobe account. Like, that's it. I want so badly for this to be any kind of means of income beyond just paying for my bare minimum. And I know that's like what you guys do. So I have to constantly be like, no, like, we're all friends and we're on the same level, but it's also like, not there yet, Crystal. And I'm like, fuck. Like,
yeah.
And
it's just like,
yeah, dude.
It's just a weird thing that we've been made like forcibly aware of. Like, we've been forcibly made aware of like different incomes and subscriber levels.
It's definitely
and, like,
a dynamic, and I guess I didn't even really like pay attention to it, but I really didn't pay any
it's
attention
just
to
a
it
weird
before
subconscious thing that I'm just aware of, and it's really annoying.
yeah, it's like not even
Like,
a lot.
I feel like
it's
faded
I get
rarely.
regardless of,
It's
like,
rarely, especially like
abilities.
we're all really chill. It's like whenever we're all hanging out together, it's like a bunch of friends. Like, we're best friends. So it's like not in anybody's mind.
Yeah.
You know, until like something happens where it's like, well, I don't know, like when we were in the YouTube space in London. We mentioned this last episode, I think. Obviously we were all over 10,000 subscribers, but at that point you guys are still so much more ahead of me, subscriber-wise, quote-unquote, that I was still kind of like, shit, I am really small, aren't I? Like, it's the little moments like that where it's like a reality of like, oh, by the way.
Yeah.
Or like the thing with having to tweet out at YouTube to get your videos reviewed.
Little moments
like
like that reminded me. It's like, hey, just in case you forgot.
Yeah, it's good too, because it makes me very aware of like my privilege as a like 250,000 subscriber YouTuber, that I'm like, oh yeah, like, this is really frustrating. YouTube is still kind of bullshit. Like,
it is. Dude, I get more jealous of like abilities. Like, again, Echo, you're so good at drawing. It's unbelievable. And Crystal, you're so professional and good at like social media.
You know so much more
and
about
promotion
YouTube than I will ever know.
It's insane. I don't know any of that shit. I don't know anything. Like, I don't even care enough to know. It's just all like, slap that shit up there. And you're like,
well,
very
that's what
meticulous.
I'm jealous of, Hannah.
Yeah.
I'm jealous of your ability to just like slap shit up. I'm Leslie Knope. If you don't watch Parks and Rec, you don't know what that means. That's me.
She is. Oh my god, you are.
That's
oh my
me.
god, you totally
so I
are.
literally, like, it is a struggle. I cannot do something that I actually want to do and I'm excited about without researching for 4 hours, without making binders, like, you know what I mean? Well, what's the proper way to do this? Let me learn everything I can about it and then make a PowerPoint presentation.
How to run Discord and how to run TubeBuddy and how to run vidIQ and all these like secret software things that like, the big YouTubers use to like monitor their analytics in more depth.
It helps me learn stuff, but simultaneously it holds me back from actually getting shit done and actually, you know, it creates a vibe of like, I don't know, that desperation vibe that we were talking about before that I think like seeps into my content and into myself a little bit. And I'm like, chill the fuck out, Crystal, be more like Hannah. I'm constantly telling myself.
Do it naturally, stop caring. It's like when you spend so much time looking at all the little pieces, you lose the whole picture. And
oh damn, that's deep.
Well, thank you. But, yeah, I don't know. It's kind of weird because I feel like we have a really good dynamic, though.
Hannah's so chill because I'm diagnosed with an anxiety disorder and I'm on medication for anxiety. It's the chillest.
Maybe inside you're anxious. It's like
maybe you're more like naturally talented.
Yes.
Well, we could say like you're naturally approachable and likable.
Yes.
and it feels like you don't even have to try.
Exactly.
And you're effortless as a human being. And I envy that so much.
Human.
I feel like our dynamic.
Keep talking about me. I like this.
Well, I think, since
let's make a podcast called Release the Hannah Love.
Since we are about, I think, nearing our end, I think it's a nice way to summarize. I think competition is a little inescapable amongst creators. In any capacity, but if you want to keep it healthy and you don't want it to ruin your life and you don't want it to inflate your ego or make friendships weird, just acknowledge it like we have here and be it's not really who's better. It's just we all have our strengths, we all have our things that we're good at.
True.
And then the internet is a wide open yonder for us to all succeed. Us to all
very
success.
Good dynamic too.
Mm-hmm.
We have a very good
the
dynamic.
Final frontier.
The final frontier.
Yes. Oh my god, yes. USS Callister.
I like our dynamic. I think we work
our
well together.
dynamic is great because we all have strengths.
So I guess if you're a creator, make YouTube friends and don't be afraid to approach bigger people. They're just people, and don't think that you're better than other people for doing better faster.
Recognize. Exactly. Recognize your... I don't want to say recognize your place. That sounds so
recognize your place.
Know your place,
it's more
small YouTubers.
Try to acknowledge where you lack power and where you have power and use it appropriately. Mm-hmm. And don't abuse it. I don't know. That might sound weird, but that's what I'm gonna say.
Very deep.
And you know what? If I was trying to think, how can we also? Because not everybody who listens is a creator on the internet of some kind. But for consumers of content on the internet, you are going to also encounter competition in your life.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's a thing for everybody.
And don't. This is still relevant, I guess. Don't let it get to you. Whatever you're good at, be happy that you're good at it and stay humble about it. And whatever somebody else is good at, it's okay that they're good at that. And support each other, lift each other up in your strengths. And I think we're going to have a better, internet culture and culture in general about it. Don't be salty because somebody else is successful. Oh, really quick. I have a fun Cardi B quote. I know you're probably like, Crystal, why are you talking about Cardi B so suddenly? Okay. I love Cardi B. I know that's really random. She's the sweetest little genuine booger. I think she's adorable. But there was a video somebody sent me once on my Discord server that I'm in. And it was talking about don't hate people because they're more successful. And I'm about to use the language that she's used for the effect, but do forgive. Don't be a why her and not me type of bitch. Be a how can I get next to that bitch type of bitch. And I think we can all use those words of wisdom from Cardi B. In our everyday lives.
Words of wisdom. That's fucking awesome. I love that.
How can I get next to that bitch type of bitch, guys? This has been Release the Salt.
You can find us on SoundCloud, iTunes, and YouTube at Release the Salt. And Twitter at Release the Salt.
Okay. Our Twitters, man.
Oh yeah, our tweets.
I'm at Happy Panda Party.
I am at Echo is Weird.
And I am at The Crystal Joy.
And remember, friends, the human body cannot survive without salt. Thank you for listening.
Bye, guys. Until next
See you later. See you next week.
Enjoy the salt cleansing.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Salt cleansing.
This has been your salt cleanse for the week.
It's a good salt cleanse.